up, Gato Squad, and welcome back to the channel. I wanted to take a chance today and show you guys how to properly drive a manual transmission car. I've been getting a lot of private messages asking me, how do I drive a manual? I want to drive a manual. Teach us how to drive a manual. So I thought I'd take an opportunity now and show you guys how to properly drive a manual. Now, there's a number of reasons why you should learn how to drive a manual. I mean, main thing is most awesome cars are in manual form. So the S2000, for example, only came in a manual. The E39 M5 only came in a manual. The pretty much any awesome car, you want to buy it in a manual. You can get the Corvette in automatic, but you should get it in a manual. You can get the Civic hatch, the car we're in right now, in an automatic, but that's a CVT. You want the manual. The new Civic Type R, of course, only comes in a manual, as does the Civic Si. Only comes in a manual. So many reasons to learn how to drive a manual, and not that many people know how to drive manuals these days anymore. That's what I've been understanding from my conversations with people. So I thought I'd take the chance now and show you guys how to drive a manual. So let's get started. All right. So first things first, you want to position your seat so that you're comfortable with the pedals. Now there are 3 pedals. You got the brake pedal and accelerator pedal, just like an automatic car. They both do the same exact thing. Then you have this extra pedal here that you're going to control with your left foot. Remember, left foot for the clutch, right foot for brake, and for the accelerator pedal. So the first thing you want to do is adjust your seat so that you've got plenty of space, or you got plenty of reach to reach the bottom of that clutch pedal. If you take a look there, I can reach the bottom very comfortably. I've got enough force to put the clutch all the way down, and I've got enough control. So make sure you put your seat forward enough so that you can do it. After adjusting your seat, the next thing you want to do is make sure you familiarize yourself with the clutch in your car. So every clutch in every car is going to be different. So some cars have very heavy clutches, some have very light ones. This car in particular, the Civic hatchback, has a very light clutch, which is easier to manipulate. The one on my S2000 is slightly heavier, and even from car to car, so certain owners can put in, like for example, racing clutches that have harsher springs that are going to be harder to push down. This one itself is a very soft sprung clutch. It's easy to use, and easy to use for commutes. So get familiar with your clutch. After getting used to your clutch, you want to make sure your car is in neutral. And the way you know it's in neutral is if the stick is raised in the center, and you can shake it back and forth without touching the clutch. So you see the clutch is not being touched. I can move this back and forth. If it were in gear, and I'm putting in the clutch, it would be stuck right there. So after you familiarize yourself with the clutch, put your seat in a comfortable position, and familiarize yourself with the stick in your stick shift car, next is to start practicing. Now the hardest gear is going to be the first gear. That's the gear that you use to get off the line from a stoplight or from a parking lot. I recommend getting a nice empty parking lot or an empty area. For example, right now I'm in an empty cul-de-sac I happen to live near. So there's no cars, there's no pedestrians, no people that I can, possibly damage or cause harm to while I'm practicing. Okay, so now that we're comfortable and we're familiar with the car, let's go ahead and practice first gear, which is, again, like I said, the hardest gear. That's the main gear you need to practice to learn how to drive stick shift. So to put it in first gear, you depress the clutch pedal all the way down, grab the stick, put it in first. It's in first gear. Do not let go of the clutch yet, because if you do, the car will shut down. Let me demonstrate. The car is off. Now, don't worry about doing that a few times. It's not going to damage your car. If you do it, let's say 100 times, your starter is going to start getting worn and your clutch is probably going to start burning a little bit. But otherwise, it's not really going to cause that much damage. Don't be afraid. Keep on practicing. So as I said, after your car turns off, don't worry about it too much. Put the clutch in, turn the car on, no problems at all. Okay, now that I showed you what happens when you don't do it correctly, let me show you how to do it properly. So if you notice, I have the emergency brake on. So to turn it off, brake, put the clutch in, and now the emergency brake is off. Make sure the car is in neutral, let go of the clutch. And now we're braking as if we're at a stoplight. Next, clutch all the way in, put it in first gear, and it's time to practice. So what I would start out with, if you've never done this before, I would let go of the brake, and I would start letting go of the clutch slowly, very slowly. And as you start looking at seeing the engine RPMs go down, give it a little gas, and then let go of the clutch. And then put her around in first gear to get a feel of how it is. In first gear. Just puttering around in this empty cul-de-sac. And to come to a complete stop, you put the clutch in, you brake, you put it in neutral, and you let go of the clutch. And now we're good. I want to show it to you guys one more time exactly how I take off in first gear. So, once again, you put the clutch all the way in, put the car in first gear, you start letting go of the clutch easily, easy. Once the RPM start going down, you give it a little bit of gas, and then you set off and let go of the clutch. And then you put her around a little bit to get the hang of it. And to come to a complete stop, put the clutch in, brake, put it into neutral, let go of the clutch. Alright, now that I showed you guys the footwork, I'm going to demonstrate you guys how to shift gears from first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Let's get started. So as always, clutch all the way in, grab first gear, let go of the clutch, and give it some gas. And the car will start going. To change from first to second, clutch all the way in, grab second, that's been going down, let go of the clutch, we got second gear. To grab third, clutch all the way in, put it in third, let go of the clutch, you've got third gear. One more time, clutch all the way in, put it in first, let go of the clutch, give it a little gas, and we're off. Once they get up to speed, clutch all the way in, let go of the gas, grab second, let go of the clutch, give it gas. Up to speed again, clutch all the way in, third. And the same thing goes for fourth, fifth, sixth. Now I'm going 27 miles an hour and I put it in sixth gear. You can tell I hit the gas, nothing's happening. That means I'm in too high of a gear, so I have to downshift. How do we downshift? Same way. You put the clutch all the way in, you shift it to the previous gear, clutch all the way out. I want to grab a lower gear. Clutch all the way in, grab fourth, clutch all the way out. Now to actually properly do this, I would have to show you how to rev match, but that's a separate video. I'm going to go from fourth to fifth. So clutch all the way in, let go of the gas, grab fifth, let go of the clutch, give it gas. So very fast. And
shuts the door, it's a losing game. It's a losing game. But this time it's more than another lot of war. This ain't the same. This ain't the same. They